Hi there, I'm Dr. Taz. I'm an integrative health and wellness expert and author of The Hormone Shift, where I combine the best of Eastern and Western medicine to really give you a holistic approach to balancing your hormones. Look, there's a lot of conversation around hormones and hormone balancing. Does it even exist? Can you do it? Yes or no? And the answer is yes, but we have an incredible toolbox when we take the best from multiple systems of medicine. It really honors each of you as an individual or as a person. So back to seed cycling. Seed cycling actually does work for certain people. Here's what it does. It helps us to regulate the balance of estrogen or estradiol, right? That very powerful female hormone, and progesterone, which is the first hormone to shift amongst women of all ages. That means if you're 13 or 14, you could be having a progesterone issue. If you are 50 or 60, you might be having an estrogen and a progesterone issue. Now, hormones don't work for everyone, so seed cycling comes into play in those particular scenarios. Here's what we've got. I've got 4 different types of seeds here. They each have a different purpose and function when it comes to our hormones in this sort of construct of seed cycling. Let's break it down. Number 1, we've got flax seeds. So flax seeds actually kind of mimic estrogen. They're a phytoestrogen. So they have weak estrogenic properties. So they can actually provide many people with relief from things like hot flashes or night sweats and concepts or issues around depletion. So let me explain that one for just a minute. Many women, young women, teenagers, women in their 20s, even women in their 30s, have low estrogen because they're depleted. They've been stressed, they've been running too hard, whatever the reasons are, but they don't have a hormone level that's really optimum for their health. So flax seeds can make a difference there, indirectly mimicking estrogen, helping with low estrogen symptoms, and by the way, providing a little bit of fiber as well. But moving on from flax seeds, we have pumpkin seeds. The magic ingredient in pumpkin seeds, and by the way, I talk about this in the Hormone Shift as well, is zinc. Zinc is incredibly helpful for progesterone and for ovulation. So remember, when we're in a hormone cycle, ideally you're producing estrogen. That estrogen comes up, progesterone slowly comes up a little bit behind it. You hit this peak, you ovulate, and life is good. But many women have issues with ovulation. They have a lot of pain, they have a lot of cramping, they have spotting, which means they're not really getting a great ovulatory response. So I love the idea of using pumpkin seeds rich in zinc to help us with ovulation and indirectly, honestly, also helping with progesterone production. Sesame seeds are in the family of seed cycling and actually have a purpose of their own. Now, I don't use a lot of sesame seeds in my recipes, but I'm going to because I have since learned that sesame seeds are high in something called lignin. It's almost like a fiber. It helps us to remove the excess estrogen. Now, we've talked about estrogen dominance before, and I have tons of great videos you can check out right here on estrogen dominance and some of the signs and symptoms of those, and if that might be something you're dealing with. But sesame seeds are a way to move that extra estrogen out of your system, helping to normalize and balance that estrogen and progesterone ratio, which at the end of the day is really why we feel great or why we feel awful. All right, moving on from sesame seeds, let's talk about sunflower seeds. Sunflower seeds are a part of seed cycling as well. It's high in vitamin E, and that vitamin E in turn helps with progesterone levels. Now, in the Hormone Shift, I talk about the 5 different stages of hormone shifting that all women go through. The commonality, really the thread between all of them, whether you're 13 or whether you're 65, is the drop in progesterone levels, leaving us feeling anxious or having trouble sleeping or having more symptoms of inflammation. In the seed cycling protocol, sunflower seeds become very important in helping to boost progesterone levels. All right, so these are the 4 different types of seeds involved in seed cycling. Now, ideally, you will grind or blend these seeds for better absorption. So for example, flax seeds, you may want to have at the beginning of a cycle, maybe the first 14 days or so if you're still getting a regular cycle. But you can blend them, and I often dump them into a smoothie, which I find is the easiest way to do it, or you can grind them and you can put them on top of like a dessert or something along those lines. It has kind of a nutty taste to it. Pumpkin seeds I love, have no issues getting these in. But again, remember, these are helping with ovulation. So you want to maybe start those 3 or 4 days into your cycle. And just as a quick reminder, the first day you bleed is day 1 of your cycle. For those of you without a cycle, how do you do this? Well, you may want to sort of cycle seeds. So maybe you do both ground flax seeds and your pumpkin seeds for 14 days, then switch over and do sesame seeds and sunflower seeds for the next 14 or 15 days. So again, the idea around seed cycling really was used by naturopaths. They're the first to really bring this concept forward, and they've had a decent amount of success with it. Now, flipping into my medical hat, right, my MD hat, there are some studies that support seed cycling, but they're actually pretty modest. In 2022, there was a randomized study that showed that seed cycling actually brought down an LH level. Now, here's why that's important. High LH levels, if you guys are doing your hormone checks like we've been talking about, high LH levels are associated with PCOS. They're actually associated with perimenopause and menopause as well. And they actually lead to that androgenic profile of hormones. And I talk about that more in this video and definitely in the hormone shift as well. So there are some studies that support it. Where do I stand on all of this? Hey, anything we can do to balance hormones naturally is a yes. Is it going to take you all the way to the end zone? Maybe not, but it is going to help. And there is something to fiber, vitamin E, zinc, and many of these things that we need for healthy hormone balance. All right, I post new videos every week. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon.